Learning objectives. In this chapter, the user would learn the following in detail. World Wide Web, www, and web browser. Web browsing softwares. What is search engine? Understanding URL. Domain name. IP addresses. Using e-governance websites. www and web browser. Introduction. The World Wide Web is a way to share resources with many people at the same time, even if some of these resources are located geographically apart. The web is the most popular internet service next to email, but it accesses a larger quantity and greater variety of data than any other service on the internet. World Wide Web is a huge collection of hypertext pages on the internet. A web browser is a software application for retrieving, presenting, and traversing information resources on the World Wide Web. An information resource is identified by a Uniform Resource Identifier (URI) and may be a web page, image, video, or any other piece of content. Hyperlinks present in resources enable users to easily navigate their browsers to related resources. World Wide Web. The World Wide Web is simply referred to as web. It is the latest addition to the Internet exchange information. The web is vast network HTTP servers, web servers that store documents called web pages, and these are accessible to the Internet. It is the easiest way to search and to get information on the Internet. The World Wide Web is a uniform method of accessing and retrieving information on the Internet. What is the web? The Internet is a collection of computer networks that connects millions of computers around the world. The World Wide Web is a collection of electronic documents linked together like a spider web and accessed through the Internet. These documents are stored on computers called servers located around the world. The web has evolved into a global electronic publishing medium and a medium for conducting electronic commerce. Web browsing software. Web browser is a software which provides an interface to www. This software runs on user's machine. Web browser is available in two formats: graphical format and text format. Once a client has connected to a service on a computer, it accesses the service using a specific protocol. Protocols are rules that describe how the client and server will have their conversation. Every web server on the Internet conforms to the Hypertext Transfer Protocol (HTTP). For example, Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, etc. What is a browser? Users type a web address or URL into the browser's address bar to view a website. This action retrieves the web pages from a website. A web page is an electronic document written in a computer language called HTML, Hypertext Markup Language. All browsers basically work the same way. Familiarity with one would enable a user to easily work with other browsers. A web browser is a computer program which resides on a home computer that provides a graphical interface to the web. A graphical interface means that all a user needs to do in most cases to navigate the web is to point and click on words or pictures on the screen. All major web browsers allow the user to open multiple information resources at the same time, either in different browser windows or in different tabs of the same window. Website. A website is a collection of one or more web pages that relate to a common theme. The first page of any website is called a home page. A home page will act as an index for the website. The hyperlinks in the home page will allow a user to read the other pages on the website. A hyperlink is a pointer pointing to the existence of another page which can be accessed on the website. While primary purpose of browser software is to view website pages, different browsers offer different features and may operate differently. Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is a series of graphical web browsers developed by Microsoft and included as part of the Microsoft Windows line of operating systems starting in 1995. The latest official release, Internet Explorer 11, IE 11, is made available for Windows 7 and Windows 8.1. The parts of Internet Explorer are explained below. Back and forward buttons. The back and forward buttons allow you to move between sites you have recently visited. You can also move back and forward one pages at a time by pressing key on your keyboard, Alt plus left arrow, Alt plus right arrow respectively. Address bar. Searching is integrated into address bar. The address bar is also a search bar. You can use it to navigate to different websites or perform a web search. Suggestions will appear below the address bar as you type, making navigation quick and easy. Home button. Click here to navigate to your home page. You can also use keyboard shortcut Alt plus Home. Favorites. Click here to access the favorites, feeds, and history tabs. From there, you can view and organize your favorites, RSS feeds, and browsing history. Tools button. Click here to open the Tools menu. From there, you can view your downloads, customize your settings, and much more. Toolbar menu. Right-click the title bar, the topmost strip across Internet Explorer, to see the toolbar menus. From here, you can open the menu bar, favorites bar, command bar, and status bar. Tabs. Internet Explorer allows you to view multiple websites in the same window using tabs. Just click a tab to view that page. To create a new tab, click the New Tab button. Alternatively, press Ctrl plus T on your keyboard. Document area. It displays the web page you are currently viewing. How to configure web browser. To configure web browser, follow the steps listed below. Click the Tools button and click the Internet options. The Internet options dialog box will be displayed. Home page is the first page that will be displayed when you open your browser. To set a home page, type the address of the page which you want to make home page in the home page address text box in the General tab of the Internet options. Then click Apply. History folder contains links to recently viewed web pages. You can specify the number of days to keep pages in history. You can also delete history by clicking on Delete button. To change text and background color, click on the Colors button. The Colors dialog box appears where you can select the desired color for text. To change the font of the text on the web pages, click on the Fonts button. The Font dialog box appears where you can select the desired font for the text. What is a search engine? A search engine is a software program or script available through the Internet that searches documents and files for keywords and returns the results of any files containing those keywords. The most popular and well-known search engine being used by millions of users is Google search engine, because large search engines contains millions and sometimes billions of pages. Many search engines not only just search the pages, but also display the results depending upon their importance. This importance is commonly determined by using various algorithms. Popular search engines are Google Search, Yahoo Search, Bing Search, AOL Search, Ask.com Search. Internet search sites can search enormous databases of web pages using titles, keywords, or text. You can maximize the potential of search engines by learning how they work and how to use them quickly and effectively. Search engines are valuable tools. They allow you to find information on the web and when you don't know the addresses for specific websites. Use search engines to find things on the web just like you would use a phone book to find things in your community. To look for a business, type its name into the search box and get a list of description and links to a variety of websites in response. Type in a subject, Taj Hotel, or a product, lawnmower, and you can get a different list. Search engines let you type in whatever term you wish to, but most of them also provide a directory with a list of subjects, so you can browse through the categories for ideas. Sites are ranked using different formulae, so those most relevant appear closest to the top. Google also hosts sponsored links from companies who pay to have their sites included. These may or may not be of use to you. To help focus your search, try adding some more detailed terms. Delhi National Parks or Delhi Family Hostels will bring you better results than Delhi alone. You do not need to use capital letters, commas, or dashes. Google ignores all of these. Using Favorites folder. Favorites menu allows you to create a list of favorite pages and organize them into folders. Once you have done that, then to go to a favorite page, you just need to select the page you want from the Favorites menu. To add the web page to your favorite list, follow the given steps. Click the Favorites menu and select Add to Favorites or click Add to Favorites on the Favorites tab. The Add Favorites dialog box appears. In the name text box, change the name of page if you desire. In Create in box, select the location of the favorite page. If you wish to organize favorite pages in folders, click the Add button. Your favorite page will be added to Favorite menu or under a submenu as you create it. Download web page. Downloading is the process of taking a file from a computer system on the internet and saving that file on your computer system. You can download any material, which can be a movie clip, song, text files, selected text, software, freeware, etc. To download a file, you need to click on an appropriate link given for this purpose, which automatically starts the download process. Sometimes it is necessary to hold down the Shift key while clicking on a link to begin the download. Your Downloads folder will be selected by default. After starting the download, a dialog box will prompt the user to choose a destination place to download the file. This download location can be on your computer system's hard drive and pen drive. After choosing the desired destination and clicking Save, the file will begin to download. Printing web pages. To print a web page, follow the given steps. Open your web page. Click Tool button. Click Printer. In the Printer dialog box, click the Print button and your printer will start printing the page. Surfing the web. While browsing or surfing the internet, you will come across many web pages that you really like. Maybe it's a recipe you want to make, a picture you like, or a tutorial from this website. The currently opened web page can be saved or be printed for later use. For example, if you have accessed a long and useful text on the internet, you may want to save it or read it offline later on. You can also print it out later as well. To save a web page, check to make sure that the whole file is loaded. Watch the indicator at the bottom of your browser, or press Ctrl N keys simultaneously to take you to the bottom of the document to see if it is all there. Click Tool button and then click File, click Save As. Understanding URL. For locating any document on the www, a unique address known as Uniform Resource Locator URL is required. It consists of three parts: protocol name, server address, and document location within the server space. When you connect to http://www.nilet.in to read a page, you are a user sitting at a client's machine. You are accessing the Nilet web server. The server machine finds the page you requested and sends it to you. Clients that come to a server machine do so with a specific intent. So, clients direct their request to a specific software server running on the server machine. Domain name. Definition. A domain name is a unique name that identifies a website. For example, the domain name of the Nilet is nilet.in. Each website has a domain name that serves as an address, which is used to access the website. Whenever a user visits a website, the domain name appears in the address bar of the web browser. Some domain names are preceded by www, which is not part of the domain name, while others omit the www prefix. All domain names have a domain suffix, such as .com, .edu, .net, or .org, etc. The domain suffix helps to identify the type of website the domain name represents. For example, .com domain names are typically used by commercial websites. .edu domain names are used by educational institutions. .biz domain names are used by business entities, while .org websites are often used by non-profit organizations. Some domain names ends with a country code, such as .in for India, .lk for Sri Lanka, .uk for United Kingdom, .us, United States of America, etc., which helps identify the location and audience of the websites. There are domain names such as .gov.in, .nic.in, etc., which gives the user an idea of the ownership of the sites as well as location of the websites. Please note, when a user accesses a website, the domain name is actually translated to an IP address, which identifies the server where the website is located. This translation is performed dynamically by a service called DNS. Domain name versus URL. New computer users often confuse domain names with Universal Resource Locators or URLs and Internet Protocol or IP addresses. This naming convention is analogous to a physical address system. People find web pages in a manner similar to the way that they use maps to find physical locations. If the internet is like a phone book and a web page is like a physical building, the URL would be the precise street address of that building. The IP address would be like the car that travels to its destination. IP addresses. An internet protocol or IP address is different from a domain name. The IP address is an actual set of numerical instructions. It communicates exact information about the address in a way that is useful to the computer and makes no sense to humans. The domain name functions as a link to the IP address. Links do not contain actual information, but they do point to the place where the IP address information resides. It is convenient to think of IP addresses such as the actual code and the domain name as a nickname for that code. A typical IP address looks like a string of numbers. Example: 232.17.43.22. However, humans cannot understand or use that code. To summarize, the domain name is a part of the URL which points to the IP address. How do domains work? Domain names work because they provide computer users with a short name that is easy to remember. Users enter web addresses into the URL field at the top of their browser's page from left to right. The domain name itself is read from right to left according to the naming hierarchy. This link provides directions to the network, which ultimately results in a successful page load at the client end of the transaction. The domain name www.nilets.in has three essential parts. .in. This is the top level domain. .nilets. This is a subdomain. www. This is a subdomain prefix for the World Wide Web. Using e-governance websites. E-governance is a digital interaction between government and citizens, government to businesses, between government agencies to government to religious movements, government to households. This digital interaction consists of governance, information and communication technology, business process reengineering, and e-citizen at all levels of government: city, state or province, national and international. The National E-Governance Plan of Indian government seeks to provide the long-term growth of e-governance within the country. The plan seeks to create the right governance and institutional mechanisms, set up core infrastructure, formulate policies and implement a number of mission mode projects at the center, state and integrated service levels. This will help to create a citizen-centric and business-centric environment for governance. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have covered the following aspects of www and web browsers. World Wide Web, www and web browser. Web browsing softwares. What is search engine? Understanding URL. Domain name. IP addresses. Using e-governance websites.